Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
The Eye of God is a New York Times and USA Today best-selling summer thriller by author James Rollins. Take a look. Whole build-up to this was awesome. He joins us this morning, James Rollins. Good to have you here this morning to talk about your new work. First of all, you take people all over the place, historical places. You go to Mongolia, and is it South Korea? North Korea. Even
creepier.
Yeah, even creepier. So talk about some of these locations and what made you decide to go there.
You know, I always like my thrillers to be sort of defined as international thrillers. I like to take my readers and make these places characters in and of themselves. And I do a lot of traveling. I love finding these little lost corners of the world. But where I get a lot of inspiration from is I'll talk to a local and I'll say, you know, tell me something that nobody's told you about this place, something that's secret. And oftentimes they do, and that becomes the seed. It actually became the seed for this story. Is I was in Mongolia and I met a local and I said, you know, I'm looking for Genghis Khan's tomb, which vanished into history. And he goes, oh, no, no, you can't look at that tomb. I go, why? He says, the rumor is, the legend is, if that tomb is ever found, the world will end. But, okay, that's my next book.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So, I mean, these mysteries, when you come across these mysteries, it's fascinating. When you uncover some of these, does it surprise you what you uncover or what you can uncover? Like you said, I mean, you can't even go near that tomb. There's
great mysteries out in history. There's little pieces of history and the question mark. You know, my goal with this novel is to try to answer those within the pages of the novel. And in this book, we deal with Attila the Hun, who has, again, his tomb also vanished into history. So if you ever want to know where Attila the Hun's vast treasure is hidden or Genghis Khan's vast treasure, read the book.
Get into the book. Not only you're dealing with mysteries, you're also dealing with bits and pieces of science, right?
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I always look, again, for pieces of science that make me go, what if, or gee whiz, how this might stretch. And I met with a bunch of physicists at Fermilab outside of Chicago. It's a National Particle Accelerator Lab. Did the same thing, sitting down with a bunch of physicists, said, tell me something about your research that keeps you up at night, that frightens you. And they did. And after, you know, having a little nausea following that lunch, I decided, okay, that's going to become my next novel. So you've got some of that in the book. Can you talk about one thing that these physicists talked about that scared you a little bit? The creepiest thing that they revealed was that the universe that we exist, you know, I look solid, you look solid, is actually a hologram.
What?
None of it's real. It's all shadows and light and equations are written on the inside shell of the universe. And I said, I challenged him. Here, the author challenged him. Said, you know, really?
Yeah.
But actually, the theorems support that we actually probably are living in a hologram. And what's even creepier is that this year, that same lab is building a device that's going to test to see if our universe actually is a hologram, to see if if everything that we exist is not real. It's fascinating to think that there's minds out there that think like this, and the ability to test something like that is amazing too. So let's talk about some other things. There's a comet that's going to fly on the realm of science and whatnot. There's a comet that's going to fly by the Earth soon here. November. In November. It's called Comet Ison. It's going to visit our planet shortly, and it's going to be a spectacular celestial event. When this comet passes by Earth, it's going to be one of the brightest celestial events actually to occur in millennia. It'll be brighter than the moon. You'll actually be able to see the comet during the day. It's going to be that bright. Now, comets have often been, you know, harbingers of doom. They supposedly predicted the bubonic plague and, you know, great battles and even the death of Mark Twain. You know, again, thriller writer here, so I'm thinking this huge, gigantic comet's going to come by, big celestial event. I'm going to make it be a harbinger of great doom. For people who haven't read your books, yes, can you tie it all together? What can they expect from these books? Basically, they're a blend of history and science. They're modern-day thrillers, sort of a travel log across the world. We hop skip anywhere from Hong Kong to Macau to North Korea to Mongolia, back to the United States. Much destruction, much chaos, little romance. All mixed in there. Yeah. You go to some great locations. That's got to be fun to be able to travel like that and see these places. It is. I'm seeing in this tour, we're touring by bus. They're going to wrap the cover of my jacket around a tour bus, and we're heading across a swath of the Midwest with this traveling billboard for my novel, which will be different. Well, that's great. Hey, if you want to meet James Collins, he's going to be in town tonight at Kearny Mesa at a book signing event at the Mysterious Galaxy.
at 7 o'clock. We thank you for coming by. Are you going to leave this behind so I can read this?
That is yours.
Thank you. I can't wait to read it. Paul, we'll toss it over to you.
That's
fascinating
awesome
stuff.
Yeah, and I'm just amazed. My hat goes off to him. Anybody who can sit there at a computer and weave stories like that and put words together. I love to read, and somebody like you, James, just fun to listen to and talk to. Still ahead, well, you watch now. He just got an idea for a new book out of Brad. We don't know what it is yet, but he just got an idea. He's walking out there going, oh, Brad. So Brad looks like
Here's a whole other experiment right there.
Great job.